live? Are we live? Are we on? Yes, we are live. We are live and direct. What's up, Harris? Gotta have her sitting here because you know she likes to bark. She likes to make those special appearances. So you're gonna have to sit here, buddy, for the time being. But what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Leveraging Your L's, where we share the lessons that we've learned, the losses that we've taken in the notary business, and we try to take those lessons and pass it on to other notaries who may be possibly going through the same thing that we may have faced previously and before. My name is Rafael Jemison, aka Stamp, and we have my lovely co-host, Tierra Bryant, in the building. First things first, Tierra, how are you doing today?
I'm doing swell. It's gloomy over here for some reason. I know it's gonna rain, but it just makes the air super cool. Like it's June, right? Yesterday was the first day of summer,
Yeah.
and it's 64.
I'll take that.
64?
Hey, I'll take that.
That is cold. It is summer. I'm on a sweatshirt.
Hey, I will take that. Yeah. Hey, when you get, I live in the middle of California, so I live like in central California, so it gets hot. I don't like hot. I don't like hot weather at all. It was 80-some degrees yesterday, and I was like, man, I don't know if I could do 90 or 100. I know it's going to get even ugly, so I ain't complaining.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's true. Either way, I'm happy. Let's see. Last week, my daughter graduated kindergarten, so that was very exciting. And yeah, man, we just getting ready. We got a couple of weddings coming up. We have our first like back to back, next weekend. So that should be fun. And it's funny because our topic today is about leads. And earlier we were talking about how like the beginning of your day would be like cool, and then like by the end of your day it just gets busy and you got all these calls, and now you got all these appointments and stuff like that. So that's pretty much how my week has been going. Last week was a little bit like slower, did more back end stuff, but this week is like the consultations is coming in, so happy to see it.
It looks like you out and about. I'm pretty sure you got some business going on right now. We're on the way to some business.
Actually, no, I have a wedding tomorrow, and I've been starting to write my scripts like outside, just kind of like in nature and stuff. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I just go to like this park nearby my house called Passion Puddle, and I'll sit outside and I'll write my little script up. So that's pretty much it for today. But tomorrow I have notary appointment, wedding, consultation. Tomorrow's busier.
So pretty much putting yourself like in different environments, does that kind of help? Like with your script writing, gives you an idea what you want to, how to help you to be more prepared for that wedding?
Yeah, I just like the peace and quiet. Like, when you work at home in your home office, I don't know about your kids out of school yet? Because mine is.
Yeah, mine is.
Yes, they here, they in the mix, they want that attention. Like for me, I have to get out the house, but I like to be outside. I'm like one of those people, I like to be outside. I'll go someplace that doesn't have a lot of like foot traffic, and it just allows me to kind of like focus. So I get things done quicker too.
Understood. I respect it. Last week was pretty good. I think I did, but I booked 11 appointments last week. So that was a pretty good week. Every week, I want to say for this quarter, well, as of late, I haven't been thinking about. So you know how whenever you set your goals, you're always thinking about the financial goals. Like I want to hit this number for this month. Well, I stopped doing that. And the reason being is because when I did that, it kind of impacted like my attitude. So if I didn't make a certain number for that month, I would get discouraged instead of just focusing on the process. So as of late, I've been more focused on just having activity goals, meaning I want to reach out to this set amount of people this week. I want to book this many number of appointments this week. And so my goal consistently just been about just booking 10 appointments a week. And last week I booked 11. The week before that I booked 13. So it's been going pretty good so far. So I feel like I found some momentum as far as like a formula that's been working for me. So like the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I'm gonna just keep on rocking and rolling with that. So I had a couple of interesting things happen to me last week. Last week I finally got this apostille order closed. I had this apostille that I completed, I want to say 2 weeks ago, but then I finally got the call from the Secretary of State that it was completed. They took a little longer than usual. Typically because this is the fourth one that I've done, so it was like the fourth one that I've done so far. So the previous ones that I've completed, they let me know. It was like that they let me know that it was good to go to be picked up. But for this one, it took 7 days because I guess because I'm close to Sacramento, so I guess it's probably I found out process the time is like 4 to 7 days, but down in LA, they get to do same day service, so they get to move a little bit quicker than we could. So it's funny. I was happy that it got closed. I was finally happy to get it closed out. Reason being is because each time that I've done an apostille has always been a little tricky for me because, as you know, every request that you get is never the same.
Right.
So it's always a little interesting as far as trying to figure out, like, all right, make sure I'm doing the right thing for this particular order. Make sure I got everyone's signatures right, or I got to make sure I got the right document notarized, things of that nature, right? So it's finally happy to finally get that closed out. Hopefully we continue to get more. And then funny enough, as soon as I got in my car, I had someone else that called me for another apostille, but they wanted same day service. It was for a divorce decree. Go ahead, B. They wanted a divorce decree document that was going to Mexico. And I had to tell them, it's like, we can't do the same day service right now because that's just not what they're offering. And he was really adamant about getting that done. So I tried to explain what the process was and we can get it done. But I ended up getting closed that deal. So, but I was just happy to get that phone call because I'm starting to get more and more of those phone calls. So last week was pretty good. As always, we're doing estate plan signings. That's pretty much what I've been booking as of late. I got another one. I got a few of them coming up this weekend. What else? Oh, yesterday we had a workshop. I had a workshop with my guy Bruce. Shout out to Bruce Hill, who has, I believe, who I think has the greatest tagline of all time. One new skill will change your life, and it flows with his name, so it don't get no better than that. Pretty much what we talked about in that workshop was, just having a process. I think, when people reach, when you have clients that's reaching out to you for loan signings, it's pretty much, are you available? And we all know what the set fee is always going to be, right? If you get it directly from a client, you're either going to charge between $150 or $200. But when it comes to like doing like general notary work, power of attorney signings, and things of that nature, it's always going to be a little bit more negotiation involved, and there's going to be a lot more questions involved. So I feel like with some notaries, they know how to handle the phone calls they get for loan signings, but they don't typically know how to handle those situations if they get a call for like the general notary work. So that was a really impactful workshop yesterday. And that was a really impactful workshop that we had yesterday. So very excited about that. We got a pretty good, I ain't gonna say we probably had about 5 people that attended, but I think the next time around, I think we're gonna have some people show up. It's gonna have some we have a lot more people that's going to attend next time. But yesterday it was a pretty good workshop. So be on the lookout for that. We'll probably end up doing that again in July. But other than that, business has been going very well. Just trying to continue to be consistent, continue to answer those phone calls, and trying to book as many signings as we possibly can.
Wow. That's good. So being that you're consistently, 2 questions. The first one is, how are you picking your activity goals? So now that you're moving away from having financial goals and focusing on having activity goals, and you see the success of.
Uh-oh. Someone must be calling. I missed that training. Yeah, I figured someone might have been calling.
Oh, yeah. Did you hear my question?
The question, what I heard was making the shift from the financial goals to the activity goals, and then you cut out right after that.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was gonna say, what was the how did you pick your activity goals, and what made you make that shift, that pivot?
What made me make that make the shift? That's what you asked?
Yeah, and how did you pick your activity goals?
Yeah, so like I was saying earlier, the reason why I made that shift was I was purely focused on the financial aspect. So let's say my goal was to do $6,000 or $8,000 for the month, right? and I would pretty much say, okay, I want to make this amount of money, this amount of signings I need to do, and go on from there. But as I would go on, I was booking appointments, but I still wasn't hitting my financial goals for those months. So when I wasn't hitting my financial goals for that month, I would get really discouraged. I would get
Yeah.
like discouraged, like in my plan. I'm like doubting myself. I'm like, well, what am I doing that's not working? Is it my plan, my marketing strategy? What is it that I'm doing that's not working? And then sometimes whatever you can have the perfect plan in place. Sometimes it's just some things that's out of your control that it's nothing you can really do about it. And so I would let that really get me discouraged to the point where it's like some days it's like, man, I don't really feel like doing this because I don't know if what I'm doing is working. So what made me end up change was, well, let me just focus on just the process. Let me focus on the activities. Let me focus on that first. If I focus just mainly on the activities and just focus on the process, then I think that would help me to hit my goals much quicker than what I anticipated. So the activities that I choose to select was well, also part of that too, I felt like I was a little bit all over the place as well. I'm trying to
Mm.
market on so many different platforms to where I don't know which platform is really giving me the most return, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to track or measure yourself when you spreading yourself too thin. I think that's what I was doing initially. So what I did was I just checked what was working for me, what wasn't working. So what I was doing, I was checking to see what platforms or where is my business coming from. And a
Mm.
lot of my business, from what I determined, was my business coming from Google, number one search engine platform in the world, repeat clients, and my business was coming from referral. I was trying to get business from LinkedIn. My business wasn't coming from LinkedIn. I was trying to get business from Facebook. A lot of my business wasn't coming from Facebook. Really, I was just like trimming the fat. So instead of focusing on those things that's not giving me the best return on my money, how about just give me the best return? How about I focus on the platforms that's giving me the best return on my business? And those three platforms, what I said, Google, repeat clients, and referrals was giving me the most return for my time. And so I decided to focus my activities on those. So as far as Google goes, how was I getting business from Google? Number one, just answering the phone, which is like the best thing you could possibly do in any situation. Always answering my phone, running Google ads as well. Now I don't always get a ton of business from my Google ads because I'm still learning in a sense of how to operate it and everything. But I'm starting to see some progress here and there, and that's how I was getting business. So answering my phone and running Google ads. That's where I came from Google, just focusing on that. So how many phone calls can I answer from Google, and how many clients can I close on? How many clients can I close on from just getting those phone calls? Number two, focusing on my repeat clients. I was so focused on trying to acquire new clients all the time to the point where I kind of got messed up in the process where I would have a client who I've worked with repeatedly. They'll reach out to me and say, hey, a notary didn't show up for this particular signing, but it wasn't the notary's fault. It was my fault because I forgot that they even had a signing on my calendar. So that's one thing. I'm
Mm.
focusing on my repeat clients, not focusing on the people that's already paying me. Shout out to Andre Hatchett for that advice. That's a big thing. Focusing on the people that's already paying you. So I had to scale back the prospecting a bit and then just focus on the people that's already paying me. And then number three was focusing on a referral. So thanks to me, just I got a backlog of content. I've had people that have been following the content for a while and then just being out, just going to networking events and always just positioning myself to, just continue to meet new people. From just establishing those relationships and sending business to other people, I was getting referrals from other people as well. So I would say just refining my process, just focusing on the channels that's bringing me the most business referrals, focusing on Google, and focusing on my repeat clients. And from there, that's what's helped me. That's what's helped me mostly in my business. That's what's really been helping me as far as on the offline business goes. And then online, we got the courses and we got the workshops and stuff of that nature as well. So I just try to focus my activities on the things that's bringing me the most return. And since then, I've been able to trim out a lot of the stuff that has been working and doubling down on what's been working for me.
That's
I
what's
hope
up. That's Nah, I think that definitely is super helpful for anybody in any industry. Really, first, like you said, trimming the fat, not spreading yourself so thin. Because I think
Mhm.
we have a lot of opportunities, right? We're like in the digital age where we can be on so many organic platforms, we can be on paid platforms, like we can be on 20 platforms at one time, but it's hard to kind of keep up with all of those and like meaningfully engage and like use them to the best of their like abilities. So really focusing on where you're seeing the most conversion, where people are actually starting to book you from, and focusing on those is that's a really good idea. I like that. Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was because because coming into the quarter, I'm like, all right, I want to get business from LinkedIn. I want to get business from Google. I want to get business from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And for a while, it was like I felt like I was just like spreading myself way too thin. It's like I don't even know if I'm. And the other thing too, I'm not tracking. I'm not tracking every because that's a lot of platforms that to be marketing on. So I
Yeah.
wasn't really keeping track of everything to see what was working or what wasn't. So I had to sit back. I had to like sit back and just really just track like, okay, where is my business mainly coming from? And
Mhm.
again, Google, repeat clients, and getting those referrals. And so when I decided to just focus on just the referral marketing, Google, and focusing on the clients that's already paying me, I kind of cut back on the prospecting a bit. And since then, it's been very helpful for me. Now, I would have thought that by doing less prospecting, I wouldn't be able to hit my financial goals, but by just scaling things back, I've been able to be able to get consistent, been able to hit my goals as of late for the past few weeks. So again, it's been working. I'm gonna continue to focus on doing those same things and keep growing from there.
Nah, for real. That's good. Yeah, lead tracking is super important. In like the wedding officiant space or just like the wedding industry as a whole, a lot of the times those vendors don't get like you can't get repeat services out of that same couple, right?
Right.
Maybe if you're like an event planner, you can plan like their birthday parties and other type of parties. But like if you're an officiant, you marrying them once, maybe in 10 years you'll do a vow renewal. If they have kids, maybe you'll do their christening and they might keep everything, in the family. But, for us, we're always in like that acquisition stage. Like we're always prospecting. We're always trying to find that new couple that just got engaged or this couple that wants to just elope or do a vow renewal or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different on my end. And I guess that part was a shift for me when I was more notary focused versus being more efficient focused. It's like here you have the potential for repeat clients. Like you have the
Yeah.
potential for one person to pay you $200. You know what I'm saying? Every single time you interact with them. Whereas for me, it's like I have this one, bigger transaction, and then I have to provide such a great experience for them that they
Mhm.
tell their friends and they
Mhm.
write a review. And when you're in the Facebook groups and you see someone ask for an officiant, they tag your name, and you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that's how
Yeah.
you have to do like your referrals and your word of mouth. And then there's always like other industry pros and other people you can get working relationships and referral partnerships with. But social media is like super huge. Google is really big for me. So I would say Google is really big for me. Word of mouth is really big for me. And my Instagram is like starting to kick up a little bit. So I'm starting to
Mhm.
have people like find me on Instagram. So just trying to focus on that. And honestly, what you do for Instagram, you can kind of put on TikTok as well. And then
Yeah.
you can attach that to your Facebook. So you can really focus on Instagram, but still spread that content out to like, those two other major platforms. Um, as well. But yeah, a lot of my lead generation is coming from definitely Google. So shout out to Google. I really want to focus on, do you still do Google posts?
So I don't really do too many Google last I can probably the last Google post I did was probably last year. I don't and the reason why I don't do too many of those because I wasn't really I would like my views on those posts to be like really low. And then when I would ask people like how did they find me or why they choose to find me, they was like, well, you just popped up. And then it's either you just popped up or someone who I called before you didn't answer the phone. So I would never hear anything about the Google post. I was like, you know what,
Yeah.
maybe I just need to stop.
So I wonder if Google Posts is just like, something you put out there because I don't even understand where you would see them
Yeah.
either. Like just as a Google user, I don't see where you see them. But maybe that's just something for them to like, track how you're using their activity or what I'm saying, like using the different things on there, the different features on their site because I always hear that it helps you like boost up in the algorithm, but again, as someone who
Mhm.
uses Google, I don't ever see them when I'm searching anything else. I'm like, where do they be?
Yeah. Typically, the only time I see Google posts is when I'm looking at mines. So that's like the only time I see it. Like I've done like market research, like trying to see what other notaries have like posted on their page, and even then, I don't see too many notaries that do that. Not, I
Yeah.
mean, that could just be me from what I'm saying. Probably it's probably another notary who probably says otherwise, but just from what I've seen, I haven't seen it. So,
Yeah. I
but
was
I
just
will
curious.
also, I just want to say as well, something else has been working for me. So I create landing pages. I think that's like a skill that I've learned like over the past. I want to say this year I've gotten really good at making landing pages because you know, I mean, you know Daniel with Hive Mind, right?
Yes. Mm,
Yeah, because I think y'all interviewed him on the woman. Shout out to the Womanomics. Shameless
yeah.
plug. If you haven't watched it, check out the Womanomics podcast. If you haven't, great show. I was a guest on there as well, so definitely check it out.
Our first
Um,
guest.
yes, yes. But yeah, I use HiveMind. So one of the cool things about the platform is they got funnels. You can create websites and things of that nature. And I know I mean, well, like with most I know like when most notaries come into the business, they tell you to either go to Squarespace or go to what's
Wix.
another one, GoDaddy.com, and you
Hmm.
can pretty much create the website yourself, right? But if you don't want it, but sometimes like I've had multiple websites where I just didn't think it wasn't really doing anything for me. So instead of just like reaching out and like spending money trying to get multiple websites done, I just learned how to do it myself. So what I've done is again just learn how to create multiple landing pages, see what works and what hasn't worked. And the most recent landing page that I've created, I think that one's been it's been helping me out as well. And I think part of the reason why is because unlike the past websites that I have like an inquiry form on this new landing page that I have. So just from that, I probably had like 2 or 3 clients as of late just go straight to that inquiry form. It lets me know all the questions I would ask over the phone, they've already answered it on that specific page, and then that's allowed me to be able to get new leads that come in. I got all their information, I got their phone number, I got their first, last name, and I got the email as well, so I could I could email them once or twice a month just to stay in contact. And from there,
Hmm.
it makes it easier for me to reach out to them and be able to close that appointment because they already gave me all the information as well. So I think that's played a big piece. I think that's also played a huge role in me helping be able to acquire new leads as of late. Because really, what it really comes down to in this business is obviously relationships. That's a big piece, but got to be able to always be able to consistently generate leads.
Yeah.
Um, interest rates impact loan signings, so it's only enough loan signings that's going to go around for everyone. But there's always going to be someone out there that's retiring. It's going to be someone that's setting up a trust. It's going to be someone out there that's setting up a will. It's going to be someone out there that needs some type of document notarized. And you just want to be always just be in a position to get in front of those people and they be able to come to you for those type of services. So, just something simple, just having a lead inquiry form on your website it's another way to be able to generate those leads and get more business.
No, that's true. And also, I didn't know this, but have you ever used or heard of Google Sites?
Is that the one where you can create your own website, right?
Yes. Mm,
And it's for free, right?
yes. Hmm. Yes.
I've heard of it. So I've had one before, but I don't use it anymore because I got one, but I've seen some notary. I'll kid you not. I've seen a couple of notaries. I've seen one in particular in Memphis. I don't remember their name, but I think they had like over 200 reviews, 5-star reviews, and they had a Google site.
No, but like these sites, so I don't know why I was looking at this, but it was like different than the one that comes with like your Google My Business page. So that one is like like the one page kind of landing page, type
Hmm.
of site where you have the themes you can pick from, very minimal customization, that type of stuff. Google Sites is set up almost like a Squarespace or like a WordPress or whatever those website building, type of softwares is. So you can like put like collapsible things and like
Mhm.
folders, yeah, whatever, pages within pages. You can do a gallery. You can do, like text and just they have like all of these basically like all these different features where you can
Mhm.
have a more in depth and customized like page. So I was just curious if you ever heard of it. I'm about to go play with it. Maybe like I might make that my July project
Mhm.
because it's just like way more intricate and I already have my domain and everything through Google anyway, so I wonder if everything just
Makes sense.
transfers over. Exactly. So I started looking at tutorials. It definitely seems a lot more in depth. It seems like it's easy to use, but you have a lot of possibilities of like what your website can look like. So excited about that. And the second thing I've came across was, have you tried the routing feature on Calendly?
Who was that? I think Ray told me about that not too. I mean, she told me about that a while ago, but I don't remember. You probably have to refresh my memory on as far as what you can do with it. I've heard about it, but I just don't remember what you can do with it.
So it's honestly kind of fly. I saw it on somebody else's page. And I can't remember who at this moment, but the way that you set it up is you can have all of your events. So the same way we have our like family trust and you just one person estate plan and power of attorney this and that, all your different events. And so you can almost ask basically like preliminary questions that will route them to the correct event. So instead of them having to look at all the events and pick one,
Mhm.
if they need a mobile notary and they're doing an estate plan and it's going to be two signers, then if they answer all those questions, then it'll take them exactly to the estate planning, family planning event in your calendar if that's what you have.
I
It's
didn't know you knew that.
super fly. Yes, it is super fly. So you can just like mine is very simple. You can pick your service. So like what one of my services or my services would be real estate. So that'll include if you do real estate documents or if you do a package. One of them is estate planning. That includes if you just want a just for a single or for a family. Another
Mhm.
one can be power of attorney. That's single or multiple. Blah 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 blah.
Mhm.
And even for I-9s, you put it in there for I-9s and then you pick, is it one signer or is it two plus signers? Is it three signers? Or you can pick how many notarizations in it and have like numbers there. It's whatever you want.
Mhm.
But basically, depending on what the answer to the question is, it will route them to a specific event. So you set it all up yourself and you just have like one like you would give a link to your customer or you'll put it on your website, whatever, and then they'll just come to that one page where they have to answer these questions and that'll bring
Mhm.
them to the event that best suits them instead of having to pick and choose from everything that you have listed on your Calendly page. Awesome.
I gotta check that out. I gotta check
Please
that
do.
out. That doesn't sound
It's
bad. I
fire.
mean, and it helps. That sounds like it helps people. It helps the clients know specifically what they need.
Yes.
So instead of them trying to pick out like, this isn't for me, no, that isn't for me. It's pretty much, it's almost like it sounds like it's almost like a what's that word? Like a pre qualifying process.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and
Yeah,
they just
man.
do it for you.
Yeah. Nope, you tried it. I tried to give you leeway, but you betrayed me once again. She tried it again, but yeah, it sounds like a that's like a pre qualifying process. So the client knows specifically what they need, and they just select a day and time for their calendar, and it works from there. I've been trying to, man, it's interesting. Calendly is so interesting because my repeat clients use it. So like my attorney clients, they use Calendly religiously. But as far as like trying to get like new customers, like new clients to use it, man, I've been trying like hell to get new people to use it. So I recently just set up I just recently like just updated my Google Ads, right? And on Google Ads, again, I'm not an expert on Google Ads, so as I can definitely point you in the right direction who you need to go to. But one of the benefits of Google Ads is they have this thing called like site links. So
Hmm.
let's say I use a clothing store as an example. Let's say if I'm going to a clothing brand And instead of like browsing around the website as far as like knowing what I'm shopping for, they have like the site links. So it'll take you directly to like specifics, like if it's like for men's clothing, women's clothing, kids clothing, where you can just press that specific link and it's going to take you directly where you're trying to go to. So I did that for notary services. So I have my Google, so I have the ads that's running, but then I had 4 site links, and I use those links to go specifically to my for like notary services. So I have one for estate planning, I have one for power of attorneys, loan signings, and I have another one this is specifically for specifically like general notary work. So I tried that, and so far I haven't had no one book. So far I've had no one that's booked yet, and so I'm still trying to figure out like is it something that I'm doing wrong? Am I not putting enough money towards the ads to where it's visible and enough people could see? Because I would have assumed that, because it's like a specialty service for people that may need those services, it would have been much easier for you to just book, right? And immediately we can get you on the calendar. But I don't know. I guess Google Ads is still something I'm still trying to learn. So far, but like this, I think last week, because I've been running ads like I want to say all year, and I booked an appointment last week from the ad. But yeah, it's just something I'm still trying to learn. But I would have figured like with the Calendly, with it being connected to the ad, I thought it would have just been much easier. Because most people, I mean, from what I'm seeing, it just depends on who you ask. But most people, they don't want to talk on the phone. They would much rather just get it on the calendar. But I think it just depends on the demographic.
Yeah,
I think that plays a part in it, because a lot of the clients that call me, they're typically going to be between that age range of 45, 55. So some of them are just not as technically savvy. But like folks that's in our age group, they love it. They're like, oh, I don't got to talk to you. I don't got to text. I don't got to text you, see if you're available. I could just click a link and just have someone come out. Like, bet, I'll do with that. So I think it just depends on the demographic. So, but yeah, man, it's been frustrating trying to get more people to use that link. Yo.
Yeah. I can share real quick. I had last week. It was interesting. So I got an email from a woman who is an attorney who was looking to do an estate plan for her and her husband. And she goes, hey, I saw your website. I saw your price for the estate plan, and I thought it was a little high. And then I saw it was only for one person. So I want to do an estate plan with me and my husband. If you're flexible on the price, then we can work something out. It's like, no. First of all, you think that my one person price is too high, so now you want me to do you and your husband for a cheaper price? No. So she was just like, oh, I had emailed her back, and I think my family price is like $300 or $350, something like that. And she goes, so I was like, all right, I'll do $250 for you. And then she goes, well, she's like, oh, I found out you could do it at UPS for $50. And I was like, well, girl, you should have called UPS instead of emailing me. You should have started with that. It might have been a good idea.
I got a story for you right after this. So she wanted you. How much she wanted you to do the estate plan for?
She never said. She just said that my price for one person was too high. When she saw my price, she felt like it was too high. Then she realized it was for one person, but she wanted it for her and her husband. So she wanted me to be flexible on the price for 2 people when she already think my price for one person is high. I wouldn't even email me. I'm gonna just be honest. If I was out of my price range, I wouldn't even email me. Like, that's it.
Yeah, come here. Now you got me looking crazy online. Come on. Come here. Come here. I don't need you barking in my interview. Here. Come here. Come on. Down here. Come here. Come here. But damn, man. She didn't want to book with you, but solely because she thought she pretty much wanted you to give her a discount. That's pretty much what that was. That's tough, man. It's tough to give a discount because you got to figure with estate plan documents for a couple, we know easily that's 10 to 15 signatures. And if we're talking about a couple that's setting up, like if it's a customized plan where they got like properties, we're talking about additional deed documents and additional signatures. What was your What was the what was well, I don't know if you want to say your price on here, but what was like a range as what she thought was too pricey for one signer or for two
Okay,
signers?
one signer is 200, a family is 350. So I quoted her 250, which is like somewhere in
What?
the middle.
She should
You
have jumped.
already know how I feel. I just be
Yeah,
like, I ain't about to argue with nobody about nothing. I'll just go and book me a wedding, mind my business. Like y'all
yeah,
know how I get with the foolishness. I don't like
yeah.
it.
I
But
understand
I
that.
mean, I just felt like for her as an attorney, it's like I would assume because you're in that profession, you would know other notaries, but no, you're
Yeah,
going out to an independent mobile notary. And if driving to a place was an option for you, then I
yeah,
would have absolutely looked at like a UPS or something first. Cause anyone traveling to me, I know is going to cost more money.
yeah. And then UPS wouldn't even touch an estate plan.
She said she
That's
found
interesting,
somebody, and
man.
I said more power to you.
To me that's crazy. And the reason why I say that is crazy because most attorneys they charge thousands of dollars to set up a trust. Thousands of dollars. I know an attorney that charges $8,000 to set up a trust,
That's nuts.
and people will be happily pay it. So I think it just depends. I don't know. I think it just depends on who you're working with. I would just say, man, that's tough, man. 250 for a couple. I think that's a good deal. I think that is a good deal. But I mean, so hey, man, some people are just not going to see the value. Some people are not going to see your value and what you bring. I mean, just the fact alone that you answer the phone says enough about you. Because I get a lot of business from people who don't answer the phone. I
No, she sent me an email, but yeah.
you sent your email. Hey, I mean, you still responded to her, so it is what it is. Speaking of UPS, I had someone that did that to me recently.
Yeah.
So I was picking up a house coming from Sacramento. I was coming from Sacramento, picking up, I was on my way to mail off this apostille, and I had this lady call me. She calls me and she said, "Hey, I'm looking for a notary for one signature, and I need to see if you can have someone come out today." So I go through my pre qualifying process because I want to see if this is actual real deal. So she answers all answers questions. So I give her the quote. As a matter of fact, I quoted her at $65. I quoted her at $65 for one signature, because we charge travel and then the $15 fee per signature. So I quoted her at $65, and I told her I can actually meet her within the next 45 minutes because I was pretty close to where she was at. So she says, yeah, I thought you guys would have been a little cheaper. I had called UPS and they said they can do it for $15. So my follow-up response to her was, well, if you think that's expensive, wait till you see how much it costs to work with an amateur. Right.
That's a good one.
Because if you're an amateur, you'll be surprised. Like amateurs, sometimes they don't place their stamp on the document. They don't place the stamp in the correct area, or they just forget, they just forget certain things. And then, especially if a client has a deadline, they're going to come back around and get things done, wherever the case may be, right? So I hit her with that. And she said, well, I thought it would have been a little bit cheaper with you because mobile notary. So I said, well, I mean, you can always go to UPS, but the downside of working with UPS is, sometimes they have a notary on staff, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they have long wait times. But that's perfectly fine if you think we're a little bit too pricey. Definitely try out UPS, and if anything changes, please feel free to give us a call. And I left it at that. So for her my thing was, if UPS quoted you at $15, why would you call anywhere else? She called because she thought we was cheaper. She called me because she thought I was going to be cheaper. You want to find a service that was cheaper than $15? You should have jumped at that at the first opportunity. So I don't know, man. I don't know what people think. I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is. Like, do you honestly think someone is going to travel to your home for less than $15 when gas out here is damn near $5 a gallon?
Yeah.
That's not going to work. That's absolutely not going to work. So for all you people that's watching, you're gonna have people they're gonna tell you that you're a little pricey. My thing is, I don't do the pressure tactics. I'm not going to pressure you to doing business with me. I'll probably respond to at max. I'm gonna get you got 2 objections. After that, all right. I'm gonna give you 2 objections max because I still want your business at the end of the day. I'm gonna showcase my value. I'm gonna tell you why it's convenient to work with me. I'm gonna tell you my experience in handling these type of signings. And if you still say, "Oh, I want to get it done for $15 or $10," I'm gonna refer you to UPS. I'm gonna refer you to UPS because it's really no point in going back and forth with people over your pricing. Your pricing is your price. And then for those people that's serious that want to get business handled and they don't really have time to be like calling around trying to get someone to be available, they're gonna pay your fee.
Yeah,
They're gonna pay your fee. And that's typically the case anyway. I've had people tell me it's like, okay, here, come here, let's get this done, and they happily will pay me with no issue. But it's typically those folks who they penny pinching. Like if like, I gotta honestly question like there's no way that you're calling notaries around your city to see if you can get a signing done cheaper than $15. Whoa. Yeah, I thought that was a very interesting situation. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting that, it's like, yo, just go to UPS and wait in line to get it done for $15. Like, why? Like to me, that's like a waste of your time.
Yeah.
That's like you're not even wasting notary's time. You're wasting your own time by just calling around. You penny pinching at the end of the day. So
yeah, you could definitely go the time you took. You could have went and got your documents.
It's like if someone quoted you at $15, you better jump on that. You better jump on that because if it was another notary, some notaries. I know a couple of notaries. I've had a couple of notaries tell me to my face they don't leave their home for less than $125.
I mean.
And that's for one signature. You home for less than $125 for one signature? Yikes! So you better jump. So someone quotes you at $15, don't jump on there and try to quote it. But those people are out there because going back to the Google ad. So you running those ads, they show you like what people are like putting like in the keyword, like the keywords and what people are searching for. And one keyword that always pops up is free notary service. They looking for that free. They looking for that.
They gotta go to like because for us out here, our libraries do it. Like a lot of the libraries, the public libraries, they have notaries there. They again only do certain things. They probably only do like maybe max 1 to 2 signatures. Ain't nobody doing no package, none of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like people, there are free options. Your bank, the library, well, they ain't free. They'll probably be whatever the notary stamp is. And for us, that's damn near free. It's $2.50. But again, like people, you just gonna come across people who want to pay pennies and people who want to pay professionals. And you just have to figure out which side, like what notary do you want to be? Do you want to take anything? You're going to get people that want to pay pennies. If you want to be firm in your price, you're going to have people that want to pay professionals. This person didn't want me paying no $250 and she's an attorney. But then I had another woman pay me $250 because she had to get documents notarized for her visa to apply for a visa. That's serious. She ain't trying to get that messed up. So she paid for a professional. So it's going to be different. Don't lower your price. Say whatever price you're going to pick and understand that not everybody going to want to pay it. And you're going to have to be okay.
Yeah, I echo that sentiment. Stay firm on your pricing. Someone is going to be willing to pay you. So it could be easy to get discouraged when you have someone tell you are pricey and they tend to go in another direction. But over time, the more phone calls you get, you'll have more people that actually use your service than they actually turn you down. But it doesn't matter. You continue to get those phone calls and just being in those positions, to do so. So yeah, don't lower your pricing. Keep your pricing where it's at. Trust your work, trust your professionalism, trust your value, trust to the table, and that faith is going to be rewarded. So that's what I have to say on that. I'm not going to hold the people up too long. I think this was a really effective conversation. I think after people review this, they're going to get a lot of value from what we shared today and being able to consistently generate leads. Just to recap on the leads from that standpoint, as long as you have Google, as long as you got a website, as long as you have some relationships, dibble and dabble from Thumbtack every now and then. I know how you feel about Thumbtack, but But yeah.
I'm over Thumbtack. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I have to be honest with you. In my first year, I was all about like, you want to get your reviews. So you definitely want to, get on a platform that is like lead based. Like, all right, I'll pay for this lead. I'll get this real quick. I'll do a good job. And then I'll get my 5 stars and I'll, keep it pushing. But honestly, when I got into year 2, I was like, let's see what organic looks like. Let's see if I take money out of marketing and just do things on the platforms that I know are free. Can I at least gather, if I could generate the same amount of traffic from what I was paying, I know I can gather more. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I ain't spending no money on marketing. So when you're first starting out, you know me, Thumbtack all the way. I booked a lot of weddings on Thumbtack, love them to death. Now I'm out. I'm leaving. Don't do it. No, do it in the beginning. But once the money isn't making sense anymore, because I think at some point in time, Thumbtack does turn itself like upside down where you're getting leads, you're not booking them, or you're getting unqualified leads and you're not booking them because they're unqualified, or even people are getting leads on days that they have marked off. So like when those things don't make sense no more, put a pause and try to pivot to organic and see if you can push up and drum up some traffic there. Because if you can, that means you don't have to go back to Thumbtack.
Right.
That's all that means. So save yourself.
Yeah, like I said, it's not. I wouldn't say it's a long-term thing, but for the short term to build some momentum, absolutely use the platform. Me, organic and paid. I want all as I get. But if you choose to go organic, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, as long as you're getting appointments, whatever you're doing, whatever is working for you, keep doing that. Yeah. I can come on here and talk about different strategies and methods to blue in the face. But if any of those methods don't work for you, you got to do what works for you at the end of the day. So as long as you all are booking appointments, wherever effective you are in doing so, continue to do that. And don't listen to what anybody else got to say.
Including
with that said, we do our shameless plugs. What you got coming up? What's coming up this month or next month?
Well, this month we have our in-person social. It is next Thursday. We're going rooftop. It's a rooftop soiree at this place called Tommy's Tavern in Edison. So if you're in New Jersey, PA, New York, and you want to take that little trip, join us next Thursday. I can't remember the date. I think it's the 29th. I think the 29th is next Thursday. But yeah, definitely join us. And I'm actually going to put out some courses in July. So
yes,
look for those. Those are going to be fun.
Yes. Street with the notary streets. We getting some courses, getting some new material out.
Yes, Lord. Making y'all better efficient so y'all can pay that top price so y'all can get that money.
Yes, Lord. Yeah, I think one of the best things about I think more and more people are coming into the business knowing they can do more than the loan signings, that fingerprinting, weddings, estate plan signings. So many opportunities available. I suppose when I first came in, folks was lying to me. Them folks was lying to me. Well, you can't do nothing else besides loan signings. That's it. Them folks was lying to me. So I think one of the cool things now, like people like yourself that's coming out and letting it be known, like, no, you can actually build your business without having to, being a notary, you can do that, but there's other opportunities and avenues that you can explore where you can do more than just loan signings. Wedding, very profitable, really a niche-based service as well that not too many people are into. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to when you release that because I know that's going to be good because the original one that you put out was fire.
Thank you.
What I got coming up? Man, I want to say I don't really have no workshops and nothing coming up. I had some people in here that was asking about the replay from yesterday's workshop for answering the phone. I got to talk to Bruce. He said we can get that replay available and uploaded, but I got to highlight Bruce first. So we'll see if he lets it go to the public. That's why when we announce these workshops, you got to be present because that's where all the value is at in the live workshops. Make sure you attend those whenever we announce. Only thing I will say is I did release a free course on estate plan signings. Obviously it's different than the paid course. The paid has a lot more value than the one that's free, but the free one that I did release, it is here on YouTube. It's you really can get a lot of value just from watching that free course and be able to take the information to apply it. So if you want to get into the estate plan signing space, the space is literally wide open. I'm starting to see more and more people talking about it, which is pretty cool, just spreading the awareness around it. I'm going to throw a number out there at you. 70% of Americans do not have a living trust set up. So that right there lets you know that the opportunities are available to you. I was going to add something to that. But yeah, 70% of Americans do not have a living trust set up. So now would be a good time to get base. You don't need to be a signing agent to do estate plan signings. It actually kind of pays more than loan signings would do. So if you have not already, make sure you review that free course. And if you need additional one-on-one help on how to get business or how to generate additional leads, send me an email. The email is in the comments, and I would love to be able to sit and work with you and help you get more business. Other than that, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to this live stream with Leveraging Your L's. We hope you guys got a lot of value from this, learned the lessons learned a lot from what we shared with you today. And before I head out, if them people choose to go to UPS, go ahead and let them. There's people out there that's going to value your expertise, your professionalism, and what you bring to the table. So don't forget that. Otherwise, we appreciate y'all. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Peace.
Bye, y'all.